I'd like you to imagine this version of you.
This version of you, fellow waves. We are one. Welcome in, everyone. Tommy O. We are one, brother. What's going on, pal? I love that jam. Love that jam. Oh, man. What a weekend. What a weekend. That's for sure. The more you just run at life, the more it reveals. Rough past few days for Tommy. Yo, lots of shit. Mostly listening tonight. Brother, just happy to have you here. Just happy to have you here, pal. Fly on the wall. Learn some shit. You already sent 2 messages. Appreciate you, my man. Jaden, good evening. We are one, brother. How are you doing? Give me a breakdown of Islam versus Ian Gary. Seemed like it didn't really live up to the bill too much. Who we got out here in TikTok land? Did you see that hockey fighting is now an official sport? I did not see that. Who determines that? Is that because that on ice fight wars or whatever is now like a legit professional league? Josh, you still plugging Demeter? Wow. That's an interesting way to ask that question, fellow soul Josh. I'll pass on that for now. DYYC, what was playing in Toronto like? People love asking that. And I didn't even get to play in Toronto. I just played the preseason. So technically I didn't play, but I got an experience, that's for sure. I had an experience in Toronto. And I thought I was going to make that team when I really had no chance because of Richie and Simmons. So I got pretty ahead of myself, as I have tended to do in my life. Can you talk about your experience with Keefe? Keefe, not my kind of coach. Not my kind of coach. Kind of I felt like he thought he was above the game somehow. Hello, lovelies. Erica Lovely. What's going on, girl? Hope you're doing well. Beautiful shares in there with JD. Same with you, Tommy. Char as well. DJ1004. Namaste, Kurt. Great to see you doing so well, brother. We are one. Thank you so much, DJ. Namaste. Namaskaram. Zach McNutt. Nutsy. Best arena to skate out of to start the game. 100% the Montreal Canadiens, even on the road. 100%. That is always going to be the best place to play. We had a guy here in Instagram, Gerhardt Greg, North Dakota in the house. Ever been? What was your morning routine? Well, a couple loaded things there. Gerhardt Greg. I have been to North Dakota, played preseason games there with the Iowa Wild, went and partied on campus a little bit. What was my morning routine? Pretty much the only consistent thing in my morning routine during my hockey years was a big smoothie in the morning. That was pretty much the hockey routine. It didn't really have much other than that, to be honest. Really didn't. Alec Leonard joined in. Oh, Shari's on the Instagram. We are one, Shari. Welcome in. Damon Hunt joined, National Hockey Leaguer. Don Seller. Brother, what's up, Don? We are one. Welcome in, my man. Haven't seen Don Seller on the stream a lot. Nice to see you here, pal. Jaden says, I'll be first to admit I was wrong about that card. Definitely exceeded my expectations, the UFC. The fights were entertaining, lots of finishes, and a few really big upsets. Main event was okay. Gary did well. It was a pretty close fight. I scored a 3-2 Islam and had trouble. Islam had trouble getting him down, but ultimately he did, and it won him the fight. Great night of fights, though. Look at that. That's the nature of the business, right, Jaden? That's beautiful that you got to experience a good card when you didn't think it would be that good. That's awesome, my man. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I saw that Dana White was pissed that he didn't go for the killer instinct in the 5th round. Ian Gary didn't push it. He thought he had Islam hurt to the body a bunch of times, and he just didn't take advantage. And he thinks he's going to watch that back and regret it. So hopefully not. Ian Gary seems like a good dude. Erica says, I'm Gouda. At the cottage, 'tis lovely. How was your time with your brother? We're one. Awesome, Erica. I know you had a little bit of a traumatic drive up there, but I'm glad you're up there and you're having a good time. I had a phenomenal time with my brother and the mushrooms. Shari, we're one. Now she's here in the kick. What's up? What's up? How you doing, Shari? Shari Soul Flow. We got some notifications in Facebook here. Just a like, okay. Change this real quick. In sport and in life. Okay. Will, keep it up. You're great. We're one, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Zach McNabb, do you remember the most painful shot block in your career? I do. Off the foot, inside of the foot, the instep, where all that pressure goes on your skate. Oh, I thought it was broken for sure, but it wasn't, but just super bruised. Jay Mads, Curtis, I know you destroyed George LaRocque in his prime. That is just categorically not true. We are one. I love you, though. I reached out to him to come on the pod. He said, no answer. So we'll see. I got to get a hairband. My head's itchy for some reason. Maybe I'll just throw the hood up tonight. Maybe it's a hood night. Tuck the flow down there. Maybe it's a hood night. Do you still skate at all? I do not. Only for Hockey Helps the Homeless type events. Why so many NHL players suck off Trump? Wow. Well, maybe we should just use different wording. They like Trump and we don't like that. But, well, it makes sense because hockey players for the most part are, white, Christian, and well off. Brad Beatty, one of my favorite players to watch when you came to the Sioux. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Were you there those series when I was fighting David Brohl and Alex Gabranson every time? Let me know about that. Zach McNett, appreciate your content. Brother, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Bringing the love tonight. Mitch Arsenault says, were you always so scrawny when you were fighting, or were you bigger then? I was 50 pounds bigger. 50 pounds bigger. Yes, sir. Jaden, might have been the biggest upset I've seen. One of the prelims, the guy was minus 1,200 and was up 2 rounds before getting choked to sleep. He had like a 98 chance to win on the live odds before being put out. It was crazy. A minus 750 also got submitted who had very high percentage to win. Also entertaining to see upsets. Always entertaining to see upsets. Amen, brother. That's awesome. Shari Soulflow's got those fingers going. Hang in there, she says. Hanging in there. Went to another event and finding my social anxiety getting so much better. Tommy was super supportive yesterday and having fun. This week, getting ready for a family reunion, camp trip next weekend. Niece is here from Reno. Life is good. Oh, Shari Soulflow, what a message. What a message. I love that you're feeling that good, Shari Soulflow. Amazing. Let's go. Jaden, I agree. Ian didn't have him hurt a few times. He was piecing up to the body with the kicks. He was a lot longer than Islam. I think it came down to the first few rounds. Ian started slow and ran out of time. Damn, could you imagine he won? That would have been the craziest upset. Erica saying to Tommy, could you send me a song or two that has a cottagey vibe to it or Muskoka vibe to it? I don't even know what that means, but out of the songs you've created, I'm hoping a few come to mind. Wow. Erica, lovely seeing if Tommy O has some cottage vibey type songs. Tommy O, do you got something in your catalog like that, pal? No pressure. No pressure or anything. Did you ever go Reeves? Yes, sir, twice. Sean, did you go to elementary school to talk? Did you go to elementary school to talk? When I was playing, I haven't been to one since I've been retired. Why do you ask, fellow soul, Sean? Mitch, not trying to be rude. I appreciate you, brother. I know. I swear I've seen you when I was young in elementary school. Really? Where are you from, Sean? That would really help me. If you were in Owen Sound, that would make sense. The only other places would be like Iowa that I went to elementary schools. Tommy says, I do have a song called Unwind, the Muskoka song, but need to record a better version. I'll work on it this week if I can. Look at that. Tommy O is just cooking up the beats. Shari says, I'm sure Tommy has cottage vibe song. I've heard a few that would work. Wow. Tommy's Tommy said he wasn't going to talk very much tonight, but he started asking about his highest excitement and how he can serve and what he likes. Oh, yeah. I just wrote another similar one as well. I can try to send that. There you go. Send me too, says Sherry Soulflow. Look at that. Tommy Yo's in the chat. Jaden, did you see that head kick that Islam dropped Gary with? I was very shocked by that. The theory leading up was that Islam might be the one to get dropped on the feet, but he buckled Gary pretty good. Lucky he had a good chin on him. I did not. I haven't seen any of the highlights, Jaden. So surprising that's why I like Islam. He's put people out with his hands. Obviously, he usually dominates on the ground, but he can strike a bit, man. He put out Volkanovski, even though I know Volkanovski's older and stuff. He still put him down. Erica says, yes, whenever you feel like recording and sending, firing away. It's beautiful. Amazing. Fellow souls just circling up, getting around their highest excitements. Jay Drew. Hey, Tommy, here we go. We got Jay Drew in the house. On Instagram, Jay Drew, greetings, Curtis. Any insights on what your stages of recovery were like? I deal with anxiety and I've gone from high anxiety to depression to a bit lower anxiety to anger, resentment, and back to anxiety. Whew. It's a journey, eh? It's a journey, brother. He says, tiring to deal with, staying strong, but the cycle gets discouraging. Oh, brother. A lot's been shifting over in my life over here this past weekend. So maybe we're going to get into some more stuff. Yeah. Some timeline things have changed. Some directions. And it's making me think about some things. But as far as this question, you got to think that this journey is a spiral. Okay, Jay Drew? This journey is a spiral. So, and a spiral goes around and around, right? And I like to call it spiral of remembrance. You know, we're born and we're open and free. We're this little baby, right? we don't know anything. Everything's just like, wow, you grow into a kid and everything, you're so present. You like bugs, you like playing in the mud. Everything's perfect, right? But as we get older, okay, so I'm confused. Is JD the same as J Drew? Maybe I was getting confused with the J Drew and the JD. So JD from the Instagram chat or the WhatsApp group is J Drew. I wish you would have put it J Drew on the WhatsApp too, because I got me confused. I didn't know I was talking to J Drew, but I'm happy you're on the freaking stream. Okay. I was getting all mixed up. That's my bad. So this is what you wanted to come on and ask tonight, brother. Amazing. Yes. Okay. Sorry, my brother. Well, I meant, do you want to actually come on the stream, like come on the live stream and chat? You don't, no pressure. You don't have to. But if you were all dialed into wanting to talk and ask some questions and go back and forth, we could do that. But I really see it as a spiral of remembrance. We're born with this expanded thing, but then over time, think of it like the spiral starts really wide, right? And then over time, it tightens because we get used to our name and our role and our form and our dreams and our hopes and our fears. And the spiral tightens in like an hourglass. And it gets really fucking tight and painful. And then we're going to go through this pain portal in the middle, like where the hourglass gets tight. And once you go through that enough times, you're going to start spiraling and expanding back up. So think about a wide hourglass spiraling, it tightens, and then it expands up again. The first part is the contraction into ego, into believing you're this meat monkey spacesuit, that you're this guy named J Drew and you have anxiety and depression and this and that. And then when a certain point comes and you bust through this pain portal a bit, you start to realize, wait a second, this thing isn't really working. Like I'm so struggling with anxiety and depression that I feel like there's something more. And then you start opening your mind because you're willing to try new things to feel less suffering. And that's when we start to get into the spiritual side of things. And for me personally, I can only speak from my experience. I would not be here without the spiritual side. And I believe, in my opinion, we all need to get there if we want to find peace. I truly believe, J Drew, that the purpose of our life is to come here and forget that we're this infinite oneness of love and light contracted into a human body. And then we believe, I'm Curtis Gabriel, I'm J Drew, and I have to do this, and I got to make this money, and I got to make these people happy, and I got to get my hopes and push away my fears. And we're here to wake up to remember who we really are and what we really are. That's why this is collective remembrance. We're here to remember who we really are, because we can change our diet, we can change our medication, therapy, whatever it is. Those things all help us cope, but they ain't going to do shit at the end of the day. When it comes down to it, we need to realize our infinite being. So the anxiety you feel and the depression you feel are because you're so identified with your mind and your body, brother, and the world around you. If you're identified with your mind and your body and the world around you, then there's good and bad, amazing things and evil things. There's, bills you got to pay. There's death. There's disease. There's suffering. It's this pendulum swing of pleasures and pains. And that's why your mind is turbulent. And that's why you have anxiety, because anxiety is just fear of the future, of what's going to happen. Depression is dwelling on the past and having no future, seemingly. It's all just a play of your mind. It's literally all your mind playing tricks on you, because you're believing that you're your body and you're your mind. Is any of this making sense, brother? Hey, Lorianne, what's going on? Welcome in. Shari says, well, Gabriel, that was what the fascia is doing inside the body, contracting as it spirals, and it's opening and winding the fascia spiral. I love how you just explained that. It all works together. Love it. I truly think everything is literally connected, because everything is one. It's like, is this part of my sweater any different than this part of my sweater that's black? This black piece and this black piece. Are they interconnected? You would say so. They're all one thing. Well, here's me. Here's J Drew. Here's Shari. Here's Erica. Who's Lorianne. Who's Tommy. Who's Jaden. We're all just points of this infinite sweater. If this sweater is the totality of the universe, we're just parts of the fabric, and we're just being expressed in different lives, different names, different shapes, different goals, different dreams, whatever. Jay Drew says it does, but you've given me a lot to chew on right now. Yeah, well, that's the part of this journey, Jay Drew. You basically get so sick of feeling depressed and anxious that you start biting off more than you can chew and just chewing it and then spitting it out and then biting off another piece of this stuff that I'm telling you is going to help you. And it tastes awful like Robitussin, the medicine. But guess what? It works. Does it ever work? And I would not be sitting here right now without that. So you, Jay Drew, you see my videos and you get inspiration from them, right? But the reason I made progress fast is because I have this tendency to go to the extremes, bipolar labeled, whatever. And I think by going to the extremes, I suffer a lot, right? Joy, suffer, and it helps me pick up data faster, as we call in our community data collection. The more data that you can collect and realize, wow, I'm really not this body and this mind, and I'm not from this world. None of this makes sense. Who am I really? And you start to question that. You collect all this data to start moving in that direction. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Chunked It Golf. Curtis, you a golfer. Would love to talk about mental health while on course. Brother, Chunked It Golf. I saw your message. I just was spending a lot of time with my brother this weekend. I'll get around to it. I'm not a golfer. So as long as you would be okay, if it works out that we go out and talk mental health and record it or whatever for content, I literally can't golf. Like, I'm that bad. Like, it's not even like, oh, you're an athlete, you'd be fine and you can hit it around. Like, I suck that bad. And I also have not the best wrist. So if I'm careful not to chunk it in the ground and jam it up. So it's just a realistic thing. I was like the only hockey player that didn't golf. What do we got here? How was Reeves' strength? I'll go check out the fights on YouTube. He's very strong. He's very strong and he knows what he's doing. I rank fighters on 3 things: skill or technique, toughness. Technique. Yeah. Technique, toughness, and strength. I had technique and toughness, I believe. No strength. Reeves has strength, technique, and a little bit of toughness. I just think that he was really good with using his strength of his technique of getting your arm off and just pounding on you. Swamp Donkey, I'm lazy, so I'm nihilistic in a lot of my thinking. Well, that sounds like it sucks, Swamp Donkey. That's a suffering place to be, brother. I feel for you. 44 says it's true. Once you have ego death or ego damage, you begin to see things totally differently. But getting there is beyond difficult. Is it ever? Is it ever? But it's the most important thing we could ever do. That's what we're here to do. And it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Ty, best Owen Sound chucker. Use Weep, Wooly, or Peckham. 100% Theo Peckham, in my opinion. I think Theo Peckham beats the wheels off all of us. It's called Chunked It for a reason. Any place to talk mental health is good. Hey, man. I'm intrigued. We'll see what happens. I'll get to your message when I can. All right, brother? But I'm very intrigued, and I'm very humbled that you're asking me to come on and do that. It'd be awesome, man. Just want to see if it works out. I got a lot of things kind of changing right now. Tommy, all right. After fighting the urge to get in here and listen to the stream after today, I decided I'm going to pick up my guitar and pick away while listening. Thanks to Shari and Erica, feeling a little bit better. That's how it works, brother. That's the power of community. It's the power in the love and light. Amen. Shari says, so once all the dots connected, the expanded spiral locks in and the contraction, we just get to observe it. I'm really starting to remember. Your spiritual clarity, Gabe, is so strong. Oh my goodness, Shari. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, Shari. I feel it. And I feel we're all rising in the spiral of remembrance together. But let me tell you, we haven't had, Sharzy hasn't been around the streams as much. I know he'd love to hear this, but I did 15 grams of golden teacher mushrooms yesterday. 15. So my journey with the mushrooms has been 2020. I did them for the first time. The really strong strain, did like 4.5 grams. And then I did them again in 2022, a little bit more. I have an even deeper experience. And then the third time I did them was in Guatemala, and I did 6 grams of golden teachers, the ones I just did yesterday. And then from there, that was my deepest learning at the time. It was my bad trip, as people call it, but to me, it was actually the best trip. The most nightmarish experiences are the most data collection. And it was scary as hell, but I got through it, and it led to my breakthrough in November 2024. And then since then, I've done mushrooms probably like 5-6 times, gone, 7 grams, 8 grams, like 10 grams, 11 grams, 13 grams, and now 15. And I went 15 of these golden teachers yesterday, and yeah, some shit went down. Like, I was literally talking to my dog, Piper. I legitimately could read her mind for a period of time. That was pretty cool. Never talked to a dog before. And then I was outside and I was talking to the squirrels, I was talking to the ducks, talking to the birds. It was amazing, Erica. I'm all sore because I was pretty much in the main floor bathroom wrapped around. I wasn't puking or anything. I was just, for some reason, I ended up in there and I was like wrapped around the toilet, and my ego just, like, I can't, the best way to describe this is, how like a moth goes to a flame and the moth loves the light and it's attracted to the light, but it doesn't really want to go into the flame, but it does, but it doesn't, because what happens if it goes in the flame? It becomes the flame, it's gone. I truly believe that's kind of like the journey with spirituality and ego death, is that you have to get to the point to know that you're the moth, which is the ego, and the flame is the love and light. And you got to get to the point where it's like, you realize, okay, I seem like a moth, and it seems like if I go into that fire, I'm going to cease to exist. But the moth, when it flies around and eats honey or chases other female moths or guy moths, and has its addictions, it feels a little bit of that warmth from the light when it does those things. But ultimately what it wants is to merge with the fire and the light. But that means it has to give up its individuality, right? And it doesn't want to do that. It doesn't want to give up its individuality. But the moth has never had an existence outside of the flame. Actually, the moth is the flame. So I could viscerally feel in this experience the heat of oneness. And I didn't want to go in it, but I did, but I had no choice. The ego didn't want to go, but I know I am that. So I could feel being pulled into like a fireball of black love and like just, and then I went into that thing. And that was amazing. And then you come down and you come back with more data collected and more knowledge of how true all this is. And it just gets deeper, the peace, the less attachments, the less judgment of everything. Because I literally was like, I'm looking at my brother and the dog as one with me, like literally feeling like I'm looking at myself, talking to myself. And that is this freedom, because then think about it. I think a study said at university or some big university said ultimate happiness on like a study of science terms is like not needing to prove anything to anyone and just not caring about anybody or having approval. And how do you get to that point? Well, you see that everybody is you. So if anybody's judging you, why do you care? Because it's just another form of you judging you. And you're like, oh, I love myself. So it doesn't matter. They're just forms of other things judging me. If that makes sense? Yeah. Yeah. Jay Drew says 15 grams is insane. LOL. I do 3 grams in high school and lose my mind. ate a little bit years ago, came home waxed, not much at all. My wife was like, I don't know what you're on. I don't want to know. I was thinking, good, we'll leave it there. LOL. Yeah, well, you got to do them in the right setting. Like I do them as a very, like I'm not doing them to party or to have a good time. I'm doing them to remember who I am. And every time, Jay Drew, it's like when I struggle with anxiety and depression and not knowing who I was down here. And then I did mushrooms first time and I went up to the penthouse and I got to look around of like, whoa, this is how good life could be. I'm one with everything. And then I went back down to the body and the mind. And every time I go up there, I come back down. And instead of being on like, so the first floor up to the penthouse, then I drop down to the second floor. Then I go back up to the penthouse next time with mushrooms. Then I'm on the fourth floor. Then I go back up to the penthouse on mushrooms. Then I'm on the sixth floor. And I keep, that gap just keeps closing between me. So now my baseline is like the 10th, 12th floor. And I only have a couple more floors to like be up in the penthouse permanently, if that makes sense. So it's like you reverse engineer it. You see what's possible. You know, even just intellectually what's possible. And then you do the work not on drugs or mushrooms or medicine to meditate, fast, read the spiritual texts, acquire wisdom, practice, you know, all these things. And that's what eventually, I think, in my path anyway, keeps deepening the peace I'm living in. Shares said, he's missing the shroom talk. Ooh, am I? Oh, he's here. Shares, he's here. We are one, brother. What's up, dude? Lisa says, is Piper safe when you were in this state? Sorry, with your mom away. I worry. We are one, Lisa Jude. I hope you're so well. Thanks for chiming in. And yeah, you don't got to worry about Pipey. She's all taken care of. No worries. My brother was around most of the day, and then he went to work, and then I was just basically becoming one with Piper. So Piper was real good. As I said, me and Piper were literally talking. I could literally read her mind. It was a very interesting situation. Sharzy, what's going on in your world, brother? What do we got on TikTok? Is it true Braden Rose dropped sweep at a rookie camp? Wow, that's a deep question. Somebody knows some hockey stuff here. I have to check with Rosie. I feel like that might make sense. Yeah, I feel like maybe he did. Maybe he did. Oh, this is a random as hell question. Prime Tutu versus Tyler Myers in a fight. Who wins? Obviously Tutu. What kind of question is that? Exactly, Griffin. Totally Tutu. For sure, Tutu. For sure. Who's the best NHLer you played against? Alex Ovechkin. For one game. The best players I played with, Jonathan Taves and Patrick Kane. Sharzy, I'm good, been at tryouts the last 2 days, hoping Ross makes a team. Which team's he trying out for, brother? Ross the boss. Jay Drew, Leafs making the playoffs this year. Honestly, man, their case got better, you'd think, with the what's it called? With the Detroit Red Wings in a shit show. Oh, excuse me. I need to take a look at the standings so I can refresh. Standings. So last year, the Leafs were last. So how many points out of the playoffs? They were literally last in the conference. That's how good the East was. Last in the other conference. Leafs would have been fifth last in the other conference, but this East was just so good. So the Rangers are not going to be good. The Leafs won't be good. The Devils should be better. Florida should be much better. Division. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say Leafs do not make the playoffs next year. I'm not a fan of the changes. I don't think enough culture has been shaken up. So I'm going to say no, J. Drew. No. What do you think, brother? Rockford hockey. What level, though, Sharzy? Erica says to Lisa, I was dancing down a trail today at the cottage thinking of you. Oh, that's nice. Why was Lisa Jude floating in your consciousness, Erica? Shari Soulflow, would you ever lead mushroom journey spiritual retreats? I would pay to come to that. I think you'd be an amazing facilitator. I kind of already have done it a bit, Shari. I have a buddy who's kind of going to be starting a business eventually doing it. I already know I love doing that. So, yeah, absolutely, Shari Soulflow. Absolutely. I got the hookups, and with some of the things that are happening over here, which I'm going to sort through and then I'll report back on, that could be a very legitimate thing. Lynn's, what about a hey, how are ya? What about a guten tag or anything like that? Just a random in here asking a question. Lynn's, namaste, girl. We are one, sister. She goes, what was happening in Piper's mind? That's what's great. Not a lot in Piper's mind. So I've always had this feeling, and you guys can disagree. I think I've talked about this before, but like, I feel like a dog like Piper shouldn't be in a house all the time. She should live on a farm. She should be around other dogs like nonstop. It's just my opinion on dogs and want to give them the best life. So I feel like that's why a dog like her, she has a lot of social anxiety. She's a lot of stress. She's very neurotic. So with my experience, I was so in it, and I was coming out of it, and I could literally look at her, and I swear I felt like Harry Potter in the movies talking to the snake. But it was telepathic. It wasn't words. I could talk out loud to her, but obviously it came back to me in mind. But it was very much like, Piper, like, we're God. And she was just like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, but you're God and a dog. And she's like, yeah, no shit, basically. But it was very like, it wasn't like a full personality of a human. It was very like blunt and very like plain, like not elaborate, just like, yeah, no shit, just kind of like, and it could have been my whole projection of my mind, right? And just making it up. But the way she acted when I asked her questions and stuff, like literally like sitting down and staring at me, like doing things she doesn't usually do, like coming and putting her paw on me. Like it was very like, if somebody had been watching it, you'd be like, there's something like that's something happening there. But then she laid down, and I swear I thought she died. I thought I was like, Piper, if you don't want to be here anymore, like if you know you're God and you're stressed out all the time, this might sound weird, but like if you're stressed out all the time because you have to live in the house by yourself all day and you're not supposed to because your dog, and like you can go, you don't have to stay. And then she like literally like closed her eyes, and I swear my experience was like she faded away. But then she woke up. I was like, oh, I guess you want to stay. And then we were just like running around the house playing. Anyway, it was freaking awesome. Single A, double A, nice jersey. Jaden can see the Leafs being a wild card team. Corey Cooper says she'd be so in. Oh boy, we would go deep on some stuff. Let me tell you. Ouch! Funny bone. I just hit my funny bone right into the edge of the table. Ow! Nerve feeling. Yeah, honestly, I would love to sit with you all. It'd be super easy. We'd literally just get an Airbnb, keep it super chill, a nice place where we'd have some seclusion, and you guys fly in or whatever, and I'd have it all set up. It'd be the most peaceful time ever, but it would be challenging, and we'd work through it together. By the way, how the hell are you, Corey Cooper? We are one, girl. Welcome in. Erica says, yeah, in a call once we were talking about the trails in your area and how you just got to dance down them or something. LOL, I don't fully remember, but I thought of Lisa Jude. Very sweet. Lisa Jude does love to dance. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Not Lisa Jude. I meant Lorianne. Oh, gosh, that's funny. Not Lorianne. Or sorry, not Lisa Jude, Lorianne. Lisa's like, I was wondering. Lisa Lorianne, no big deal. Yeah, I was talking to the squirrels too, Sharzy. I was talking to squirrels. This one squirrel came down the tree, And I was like, yo, squirrel. And I swear to God, it stopped and looked at me. I don't know. It could be the mushrooms, you know? Lynn says, I envision her brain being visions of floating down Harrison Park River in a kayak, not deeply God talk. Way to go, pipey girl. He thought she would just be thinking about that, eh? I'm good, thank you, says Corey Cooper. Signed me up yesterday. So, Corey Cooper, do you just feel like, first of all, Corey Cooper or Shari, have you guys done mushrooms before? I feel like Shari has. But Corey Cooper, have you? And what makes you want to do them? Just because I speak about how much they've helped me? Is that what makes you guys want to do them? How are the Leafs going to do this year? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Do you think Edmonton will ever get over the hump and get a cup? I hope so. Thanks for your answer. I do not think they will. No. I think they're even worse off now with Babcock. Man, those early 2010s attack teams were my life. You guys were like kings to me as a kid. Namaste, Todd, brother. It was so fun, man. I loved hanging out with young kids. I mean, I never got to meet an OHL player before I played in the league. If I had met an OHL player and NHL player when I was a kid, oh my God, I would have lost my shit. So I always remembered that, and I loved hanging out with kids and talking to them after games and talking about the OHL and stuff. And I look forward to doing more of that. I really do. How many sticks do you get a year in the AHL? Really, as many as you need and break. But if you break too many, they're going to start questioning your curve and your flex and all that stuff. So really as many as you want, man. But I'm a guy that was low maintenance, so I wouldn't be using a new stick every day, or I'd use the same 4 sticks for like a month, 5 sticks. Corey Cooper, and a good friend who has had a similar meaningful experiences. Nice. And yes, says Shar, I've been 20 years. I love what you share about your experience, but I've always had decent experience. I microdosed every couple months this last year. Nice. Yeah, I'm a big believer in going deep, but there's risks involved with that, right? Like I can take the risk for myself because I've practiced and stuff, but there's definitely, we'd have to get some paperwork drawn up and all sorts of things and be interesting. Shares, it all depends on if the break during play and break due to frustration and handing them out. It all depends on if the break during play and break due to frustration and handing them out. What are you talking about, Shares? Are you talking about hockey or shrooms? I'm missing what you're saying. Jaden, did you play the bottom 6 role your whole junior career, or did you become a top 6 guy when you were in your prime junior days? Interesting question, Jaden. Very frustratingly, my 19-year-old year, first of all, I was third line. I was fine. That's when I got drafted. But then my 20-year-old year, I thought I was going to come back and be the captain, first line, first power play, first PK. And you know what I got? The same line from the year before, just moved up to the second line. Second line, assistant captain, no power play, no penalty kill. And I still led the team in assists. Can you believe that? I led the team in assists as the tough guy playing second line minutes and no power play. I don't think that's ever been done before. Since when has another tough guy led his team in assists? The guy who leads the team in assists is always the top player on the power play, or the top D in the power play that gets the puck the most, you know? Figure that one out. So no, that pissed me off, Jaden. Okay, Shares, you was talking about sticks. It all depends on if you break during play and break due to frustration and handing them out. That's exactly right. If you break sticks on purpose, like Shirley's saying, you're going to be in trouble and you're not going to be getting much more sticks. But if they break during a play, that's totally out of your control. Amen. My other question, how many sticks do you have from your career? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I probably got 6 here, and I probably got like 10 at home, maybe 16. That's all. Not that many. Not that many. Sharzy, we had a player last year get a batch of bad sticks. How often does that happen? Yeah, it really didn't happen to me. I couldn't be that picky. But if you're talking like it has, like if you're how bad are we talking? Like they broke like every 2 skates just randomly, all the whole batch? Because I never really experienced that. Erica says there's a place I call Shroom Lagoon near my cottage where awesome mushrooms grow. I'm gonna walk there on some golden teacher. Was going to do it today, but it was overcast and rainy. Wow. So Erica, you go to a place where mushrooms grow, but you're not going to eat those mushrooms. You're going to take your own golden teachers and go walk there. I didn't know you took mushrooms, Erica. You take mushrooms while you have your meds? Because I know that can really dampen the experience and like mess with them, right? It's not the same thing. I'm curious. Absolutely no judgment. I'm surprised you take mushrooms. Did you play the NHL video game? I sure did, brother. When I was in junior, when they came out putting us in the junior video game. So that was kind of a novelty, right? We all wanted to go play as ourselves. It wore off pretty quick, but it was cool. What was the Mem Cup run like? I don't know, man. I just kind of watched. I was a fan just like you. I was in the stands. I didn't play at all. You ever fight Jack Eye? No, sir. I played one preseason game against him. I had no idea who he was at the time, and he tripped me, and I chirped him like, what the fuck? And he didn't say anything, but yeah, I didn't know he was tough. Jaden, did you ever get a look anywhere but the fourth line pro hockey? Did you ever have the opportunity to play a game or two in the top 6, or did you always just have the fourth line tough guy role? The only time I played any kind of minutes in the top 6 was in my first stint in the minors coming out of junior, how they signed guys to an PTO at the end of the season. I played 8 games, and I played on the first 2 lines, and I had 4 points in 8 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. I was like, wow, this pro hockey thing is going to be easy. Yeah, it wasn't after that. Sharzy, a lot of delaminations. One game he went through 4 sticks. One of the runners had incredible pictures of brand new sticks already bad out of the wrapper. Wow. They just were a really bad batch, huh? Interesting. Dale Weiss joined for a little bit. Namaste, brother. What's going on? Got Dale Weiss's pod coming out this week. Very excited about that. Freaking hell of a pod. The energy was crazy. The energy was bumping. Okay, Erica's coming about her mushrooms. She said she walks around and takes golden teachers sometimes. It dampens it, but I'm data collecting with how much I take versus what I feel because of that dampness. Ah, okay. So you feel like it's probably a lesser experience for you for where you're at. If you weren't on meds and you took those, it'd be a lot with the neurodivergency. Because I feel like our neurodivergency makes us very susceptible to the mushroom intelligence. I feel like that's why they do so well with me. Erica, the first time I took them, made half a Tupperware because I couldn't feel it. Felt it later for sure. LOL. Oh my God, Erica. And you are, body weight can somewhat matter. Do you know how much you took? And what was that experience like? Jaden, after your 8-game stint coming out junior and being productive, did you think you had a chance to make the NHL club next season, or did they tell you they planned for you to play in the minors? Oh yeah, I had no chance, brother. I was playing the whole year, first year in the minors. I needed time to grow. I was a late bloomer. I only really played 3 full seasons in the OHL, really kind of 2 at a high level. I needed time. Erica says, I connect a lot to my environment, the people around me's energies, which I already feel. Amen. You already feel a lot. Sharzy, you didn't wait the 30, 45 minutes to kick in, Erica. Sharzy, I did 15 with just blended up and just straight lemon juice. Holy shit, man. I had barely eaten the last 2 days, just a little bit of watermelon too. They hit me hard. My cousin played in the coast there. Only Warrior gives probably 10 sticks a year. But those sticks are reinforced, extra thick, so they don't break. And they don't put their name on them because it's just like save money down there. Best mushroom experience, asks Jalen. Can't find a FU movie game for my husband who does 400. What? I don't know what you're saying here, Jaylene. Best mushroom experience? Can't find it. FU movie game for my husband who does 400. I have no idea what that means. Shailene. You got to type that again. Nick B says, Golden teachers are so good. LOL. Had a nice trip there like a week ago. Only a 2-gram trip. Nice, dude. Nice little 2-grammer, eh? How was that experience? What did you take away from it? Nick B. Shark attack. Boo. Ha ha. Miss you on the Sharks. Appreciate you, fellow soul. Very nice fans out there. The first hour had to be fun. 15 grams is wild. Well, Sharzy, I know you've done like 28, so that's a whole fucking ounce. But I didn't feel anything until an hour in. And then it started to hit. And then I'd say at like hour 3, I was just not there anymore. Shari, I had to learn, even with microdosing, to surrender to what comes up, good or bad. It has really helped me with going through uncomfortable feelings, and I know I'll be okay. Beautiful. That's probably one of the biggest things with them. You know, the body and the ego fight back so hard that they kind of make you surrender, and then you get to see how beautiful life is when you surrender. That's kind of the point of them, right? So absolutely, they've taught you to surrender, Shari. Erica said, I did, but was sitting there watching everyone else and was snacking. Honestly, I don't think I realized it was the shrooms. Probably was like, chips. Wow. That's interesting. Eating some chips on the shrooms. That was 20. Oh, wow. 10 years ago. Jaden says, how good was Alexander Barbanov? I think you played with him in San Jose. I remember him being high on him when the Leafs got him because he seemed very skilled but never panned out with Toronto. Didn't get much of a chance. Had a decent season or 2 in San Jose. I think he had more potential. Very skilled, Jaden, just not like he just wasn't a good enough skater, and he was small, had the skill, but then he didn't I feel like he didn't work hard enough for his lack of size, if that makes sense. He's definitely more suited to Russia. See how he's doing in Russia. Oh, he's been lighting it up. AK Barskazan, 58 points when he went back the other year, 51 last year. Nice. Lighting it up in the playoffs, too, when they won the championship. 16 points, 20 games. Good for him. Good for him. Well, they have Kirill Semyonov leading the way. That guy's a freaking animal. He was with the Leafs, too. I got Mitchell Miller, Alexander Chmelevsky. Mitchell Miller had 23 points in 20 playoff games. Holy frig. That's a stacked team. Very stacked team. But he did have some good years. 47 points to the Sharks. Dash 30, but tried his best. Got his show games in. Tommy Yo says, I wish Sherwood, etc. had more selection for wooden sticks. I could still shoot better and harder with a wooden stick than most did with the composites in men's hockey. It also adds to pricing kids out of hockey. Of course, there's a difference, but technique and quickness is more vital. Unless the kid is playing AAA, it's just a cash grab, in my opinion. I agree, Tommy, but you're a different breed to be able to shoot the puck that hard with a wooden stick. I mean, I know Al Iafrate did, but that's badass. 75% of men's players do not need a whippy stick. I agree. Flex is a myth, just makes a bad shot look good. Semyonov, that's a name I forgot about. I also had high hopes for him. I like the way he played, but once again, the Leafs didn't give him much of a look. He played hard from what I remember. He does play hard. He's just a balls out, hardworking player. Not like super skilled, but like super solid and strong and confident. And you can tell they're just a team he's leading over there. He had 58 points in 60 whatever games, so he's not over a point per game, but he's just a guy you kind of win with, I think. Sharzy likes a good wood stick, huh? Zerk the Kid. Quinn Hughes thoughts. I think Quinn Hughes is extremely talented. It's hard not to take a guy like that on your team who makes such good plays, but man, I just think he's small and doesn't play defense and gets pushed off pucks. I don't think it's ideal, especially in the playoffs in the Big West. wow. Okay, a bunch of questions coming in. Here. Wow. You guys are just buzzed a bunch of questions. I'm guessing you were not high maintenance with trainers on skates and stuff. I was a little high maintenance. I did a couple things, but I really did it from a place of trying to be my best. I wasn't being like just doing it for vanity or for like how it looks. I was generally trying to dial in my equipment, but I was nice to the guys. I always made friends to them. So I think they gave me some leeway, and they always liked the tough guy. Nick B said, just started listening to some mellowing music. Is that we just started listening to some mellowing music and allowing it to do its thing? Not a good idea to take them, though, when you're not in a good mental place. I kind of disagree. I think it's a good place to take them. I think that's the point of taking mushrooms for me, is that you're not in a good mental place and you go in and learn what you got to learn. Were you around Galchenyuk at all in Toronto? I was not. Who was the hardest punch you felt from someone? Probably Darren Kramer. Remember listening to the episode of the Sheriff podcast, forgot the name of the pod, but he asked you if Kane likes having you on the team to take the enforcer's duty, and you seemed a little hesitant. And he asked you if Kane likes having... Well, it's because I didn't even really get to do the job. I never even got in a fight in Chicago, so I think that's why. I think I knew he appreciated him, and his dad wanted me in the games, but they were like, I don't know, like Patrick Kane's dad was like, why aren't you playing? And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, Mark Borierecki flipped off my son's helmet the other day. We should be in there. I'm like, well, don't fucking tell me. You go tell him. What am I going to do? You're Kaner's dad. You think Mitchell Miller could have made it if it wasn't for controversy? It seems like with the way he's playing, maybe, yeah. Shark Attack Boosh. Season or two later, you started hearing teammates have issues with him. Who are you talking about there? Miller will play in the show for sure. Oh, you think Miller's going to come over, eh? Do you have a 9-to-5 job after NHL career? I do not. Love your content and love your time in the show. Appreciate you, brother. Sorry, I meant Evander Kane went on the Sharks. Okay, well, that's a completely different story. And the reason I was hesitant about talking about Evander Kane, because I don't have quite a few good things to say about him, you know? And he's got a lot of shit that he goes through, and I think I went and pled the fifth there. That's probably why I was a little tighter. Tommy says, well, for the most part, I played higher level and learned how to shoot. A good percentage of men's hockey never played regular as a kid or played at a lower level. I don't really have the technique. Someone with a similar caliber to me is going to shoot better with the composite for sure. Okay, fair enough. That's an astute take, Tommy. They do allow you to shoot the puck harder. Shares you. All grit guys should have to use wood. They hurt more. It's not a bad take. Tommy really prefers those wood sticks. Stick handling is part of the game, and I can't feel the puck with a composite. At the same time, I stopped playing regular hockey during the time of wood sticks and averaged maybe 1 to 2 times a year over the last 20 years. So, yeah, you haven't really put the time in to get used to them. Fair enough. Jaden, when you signed in Philly, did you think you would get a chance with the Flyers instead of being stuck in Lehigh the whole season? Fuck yeah, dude. Jaden. That was some BS, man. That was a dark chapter in my book. Really dark. Dark chapter in the story. I was not happy about that. That was the worst I'd ever been at that time. And then something happened that got me out of it. And you'll have to see what. It wasn't me. It was external. Cassidy, welcome in, Soul Sister. We are one. Hey, all, sorry I'm late. I'm watching the Fevers game with my parents. Nice. That's women's basketball, correct? WNBA? Indiana Fever or something? Is that Caitlin Clark's team? Bro, I saw the Bryson news. What about it, my man? What about it, big time? We are one, brother. Why would that bother me? So you guys do a lot of assuming when it comes to Michaela. It's actually crazy. People have so many opinions on how I should feel about all these different things. Why? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know when people, I said it on my story today, when are people going to figure out you're not going to offend me? You could come on here and say the most heinous thing, the most crazy thing, and I'm going to be like, I love you. Thank you for the love and light. Like, there's nobody here to piss off. There's nobody here to think, oh, this person's dating my ex, or this. I don't give a fuck. It's so funny. Hey, what do you think about Sportsnet letting go Rudy? Yeah, I mean, I thought Kelly Rudy was great, but, you know, I think that kind of ran its course. I think it's fine. I think it's good. I think they could dress it up a little bit. I think it could be some new people. I think Luke Gazdick's got to be a regular. I think Kevin BX is a regular, and I think they could mix in some people. How was your time with Toronto? They're my favorite team. Appreciate you, brother, but I didn't really spend a lot of time there. They're my favorite team too growing up, but I didn't spend a lot of time there. It was just really nice to be around the guys. They were extremely nice to me. But I got really wrapped up in trying to be on that team when I really had no business being. Can you touch on BFM real quick? Is that bad motherfucker? Bad BFM? What's BFM? Breedable feminine men. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. I have no idea what that means. I've never heard that term. Tomio says, Gabe's punches like Alexander Semin. I do. I do punch like Alexander Semin now. Thoughts on the Russian ban? I don't really know how you can hate it. It's not the players' fault, but they're from a country that started a war for no reason. Even though every country does, like the US. Anyway, it gets very... It's just, honestly, I don't even care about the Russian ban. It's not a big question at all. I don't really care about it, man. Not really much there for me. Marky Mark says, I have more details either tomorrow or by Wednesday. Marky Mark, first of all, hello, brother. We are one. Welcome in. Are you talking about more details about the thing you're doing? I can't remember what it was. Got to give me some context, brother. I can't remember. Jaden, I'd love to see them get rid of Ron McLean, but that won't ever happen unless he retires. Probably not, eh? Probably not. I do think it's probably time to switch it up. New era of hockey. Second, did you strike up a convo with Nizy in that video when he walked by, or did he just continue on? He did just continue on. He actually walked by, stopped, turned around, watched us do content with a friend and his dog. My team of guys doing the social content approached him and said, hey, do you want to go on camera? And he said, nah. But he's like, I know who he is, but like, I'm good. I don't need to go on. So, okay. Where did you play youth and junior before the NHL? I played mostly for the Newmarket Redmond in Newmarket, Ontario, and then 4 years of Owen Sound. Shark Attack Booyah, do you still eat potatoes all the time? Potato power. We are one. What's going on, fellow soul? I do not eat them all the time. I've had some recently, but I do not eat them all the time. Back in the day when I was pounding calories and just trying to be a big, scary hockey player, I sure was getting my potatoes in. Yes, the hockey tournament. That's the thing that the hockey tournament that you're playing in, Marky Mark, or you're putting on. I can't remember, brother. I talked to a lot of folks. Sometimes I can't remember conversations. Wow, not care answer. Are you talking about the Russian ban thing? I just don't care about that. Tommy O, what part of Newmarket are you from? Myself, Tommy O, I was in the southeast corner up until grade 6. I went to Stonehaven, and then we moved to the exact opposite far side, northwest corner. I went to Denison High School, so I was right on the southern part of Green Lane before it became Holland Landing and all that other stuff. Marky says, I'm organizing a hockey tournament for mental health and fundraising campaign, and Cam H is sponsor for me. Right, brother. That's what it was. Thank you so much for the reminder, man. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. That's awesome. I remember now, brother. That's awesome you're doing that. Sunday's definitely always the lighter stream of the week as far as the people coming out, but we're getting there a little bit. We're getting there. Erica, when people ask you what happened with your ex, like breakup wise, how do you respond? I ran into this girl we knew at Electric Island, and she asked what happened with me and my ex, and I just say it was mutual, just drifted apart, and we're on the same page or frequency type thing. I respond like I guess you could say we grew apart, but we both had a lot of wounds, a lot of trauma, and we mirrored it to each other. And I was 7 years older than her, so whatever, I was ready to do the work, I guess. I was more in pain or more aware of my pain. My journey, I don't know, that I started to do the work, and that's what changed things for sure. So I just say that it wasn't meant to be anymore. Yeah. Cassie, I got 1 week left of summer before college. I'm like, where did summer go? I feel like I just graduated high school. It goes quick, Cassie, for sure. What are you taking in college, Cassie? It's true, but they want the details, which is I just want to bath and wake a fly, like, but I do so nicely. That's true. People can get nosy about stuff, that's for sure. Jesse, what's up, brother? We are one, brother. Tommy says it's like when they ask who broke up with who, like, why does it matter? Amen. Amen. I write about it in my book, what happened. I try not to go too deep and respect her and what she didn't want me to talk about, but I talk about it in there. But yeah, it's just people projecting their own stuff on other people, right? I hate how people ask such crude things about your ex. Not kind of either of you. Yeah, I agree with you, Lisa Jude, but that's also just part of the deal with her being who she is and what she does, right? She signed up for that. The way I signed up for fighting, my ex signed up for life doing what she did, and there's consequences to that. You're going to have a lot of attention and people being negative. So I do not disagree with you, though, Lisa Jude. Marky Mark says, have city councilors on board and the mayor is reaching out to an ex-NHLer to come support as well. Nice, dude. Very nice. Well, if it works out, maybe I'll come down for it, brother, if you would have me, but I don't know for sure because I don't know what the dates are and how that all works. So I don't know, my man. But I absolutely love that you're doing that. What's up, Randy Smith, Body Smith International? What's going on, my man? My trainer getting me to the OHL, everybody. Randy Smith. Holy crap, people. A hockey fan bought a 2024-2025 UD Upper Deck hockey box for $440. He pulled a Celebrini 1 of 1. He got a $426,000 bounty on the card. He turned it down. Tonight, it became the second highest priced hockey card to sell at auction when it sold for $1.28 million. Wow. That's a lot of money. $1.28 million for a hockey card. I will never understand that, folks. I just won't understand the hockey card thing. Cassidy, my end goal is special education teacher for elementary, but for my first 2 years of college is going to be a community college for the gen eds, and then other 2 years, either Penn State, Maine, or Clemson. Wow. What are the gen eds? But that's amazing, Cassidy. You want to work in special education? That's so beautiful. What a beautiful service you want to do in our community, in our world. It's amazing. You should have played for Boston. Once would have loved you in Boston. Brother, I wish it worked that way. I wish I got to just choose where I get to play, but it don't work that way. I don't get to choose that I should have got to play in Boston. They never were ever interested in me for a contract. Second, how stressful is the behind the scenes of getting traded, living situation, dealing with that? Well, I never had to worry about getting traded. Nobody was wanting me. I got traded once and I asked for the trade. But The living situation was not that stressful, but no, I can't really say it was that stressful. You had to move things and move out at the start of the year. Other than that, it's pretty simple life for the tough guy, man. Wasn't as hard for me. I'd pay 1.3 million for a 101 Curtis Gabriel rookie card. Whoa, Cody XX just chiming in. We are one, brother, from the moon base. Just wow, that's a lot of weed though, Cody. 1.3 million, that's a lot of weed, and you're gonna give that up for a hockey card of me? I think that's a little silly, but I appreciate you, my man. Tommy said that's a lot. I bet your upper deck rookie is barely over 1 million. Yeah, I don't even think I have one, brother. Jaden says, best of luck to Cassidy in that great career. I start University of September as well as summer. Definitely did fly by. Damn, that's a different world, eh? You guys are setting off into something I never did. Cards are cool, says Sharzy. Upper deck has kind of ruined the hockey card market. How have they ruined it, Sharzy? But Darts 1 of 1 still hasn't been pulled, and the cost of boxes has skyrocketed. Oh, because everybody's trying to find it? Wow. I agree, Connor. I don't want to pay a $5 to get I don't want to pay a $5 pack to get a 1 in 4 rookie with 90% of the rookies being career AHLers. I think you'll be lovely. Amazing goals. You got us cheering you on. Amen, Cassidy. She says gen eds are basically normal classes that every college student takes, like your math, English, those types of classes. I gotcha. S. Ballinger, we are one, brother. Welcome in. He says, what's the locker room like and culture in there? Depends on which team, my man. You could have completely different cultures. When I was in Minnesota, not good culture. Just kind of clock it in, not much fun. But then you had Rockford at the end of my career, and that was a blast. So completely opposite experiences, year 1 to year 8. The reason why it was so bad in Minnesota, we had a lot of older veterans, and they were very introverted, the other guys, and then the main leaders kind of just were on their own page. But in Rockford, we had me and 2 other guys that were over 29, and all the other guys were under 23, and man, we had a blast. They're like all 25 and younger, 23, 20, 21, and they were all like little brothers to us. They listened. We all worked hard. We had a great culture. The staff was amazing. It was the best. Disappointed you and Marchie are great humans. You fit the Boston style in a sense. Why are you disappointed? Are you talking about Brad Marchand? He played for. This is a weird message, Gagerson. You're disappointed that me and Brad Marchand are great humans and you fit the Boston style in a sense. I appreciate the love I think you're trying to give me. You said, I remember signing an EA Sports franchise. You were always great on my 4th line getting pimps. Amen. That's what I did. Oh, geez. Listen to this question, Lisa Jude. Do you regret sleeping with that pig? Wow. That's incredibly rude, fellow soul. Maurice. That's tough. That's tough. It's very rude. Don't think that's very kind. Oh, you're disappointed that me and Brad Marchand didn't play together? I don't think Brad Marchand is, but I'm disappointed like you. Do you remember we fight in Pee Wee? Maurice, we didn't fight in Pee Wee. I didn't get any fights in Pee Wee. First fight I had was at a Stouffville Spirit Junior A camp. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis? Jane says, it's been a few years since I've been in any kind of schooling, so it'll be an adjustment to get back into a routine, but also looking forward to getting back into a routine of things and having something to look forward to. Oh, something to work toward. It's definitely going to be a bit of adjustment, but absolutely, you're going to grind it. You're going to lock in. Tommy O says, just look, you have a rookie card that is a duo with Michael Keranen. Really? Where do you find this? Curtis Gabriel rookie card. I see. Oh, there it is. Hockey prospects. You're right. Curtis Gabriel, Michael Keranen. Look at that. Dual rookie card. We're hot prospects. Woo. Hot prospects, Gabes. Look at Nego. Hockey trading card database. This is funny. 2015, 2016. Yeah, hockey cards just never spoke to me. They picked some funny photos of me though. Sharesy mainly collects young guy rookies, but most people only collect top 3 rookies, and the rest don't have much value. Unless the player wins the cup, then the market bubbles for a short while. Cassidy, you do not need to apologize, fellow soul. Sharesy, you should respond. I love sleeping with that pig, and you should have seen the slop. I'll let you say that, Sharesy. Tommy, that's the problem with the young guns. The odds of getting a good rookie is so low. $20 value for the worst card, pretty much of someone who will never even play in the NHL. Fair enough. Cody Gabers, do you think Revo is done, or you think rebuilding a team may pick him up? Currently puffing and pondering this one. I really hope Chicago picks him up. Like, let's go look at Chicago's Puckpedia. I don't think they have anybody tough. So I don't know what their plan is, but they're going to get run around. Who do they got? Jordan Greenway is not going to scare anyone. Sasha Boisvert, I mean, he's gonna fight, but I don't think he's gonna really scare anyone. I can't believe they paid Patrick Kane $8 million, but maybe they had to get to the floor. Maybe that's why they just had to get to the floor. Oh, they got Cole Smith on the 4th line with the Cole Smith of Chicago. That's okay. That's a little bit of grit. And they added Ian Cole. He'll play hard. Frank Nazer's making $6 million. Like, did he put up that many points, or is that just a long-term signing to get him at a cheap? 41 points. Okay, so yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. $6 million seems a little bit, but he's going to grow into it. Dana, we are one, brother. Welcome in. Tommy says, I'm going to get your rookie card now. Why wouldn't? I'm a huge fan of Karen and LOL. Yeah, sure, bud. Don't get my rookie card. Sharzy, Dana, your fire knowledge was spot on. Thank you. Unfortunately, I learned the whole story, and it's extremely sad. Oh, no, Sharzy. Oh, no. Do you think Ovi is going to retire after this year? I wouldn't be surprised, Cassidy. I think he goes one more kick at the can, then he goes to Russia. Riva to Chicago would make sense. This even more fun than it's going to be. But I don't think they're going to do it. I think they might be done. I think that if they would have signed him, they would have done it already. Gravy to Train. Namaste. We are one. Welcome in, bro. And Dermot Anderson. How we doing, brother? We are one. Welcome in. Welcome in. Second, are you like set in terms of finances, having leagueman salary? Obviously, don't need a number, but I'm not set as in probably normal terms of people, but I've spent a lot of money with all the stuff I'm doing with social media and stuff. But the way I live my life and what I want to do, it's sustainable. I would say that because I live like a monk. I live pretty simply. Tough for me trying to be myself. Gagger says, I'm happy for your advocacy for LGBTQ as well. I'm a bisexual guy that played junior, and it was tough for me to try to be myself. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for the vulnerable share. I really received that warmly, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. That'd be a brutal experience to not be able to be yourself in a sport that you love playing. Like, it really blew my mind that people have to live that way. Being, all the privilege that I have with my Meat Monkey spacesuit. It's very shocking to hear some of those things. Beavis, what do you think of Poppy? I think he's a great dude. I just don't think he's a number 1 guy on a team. I think he's probably a number 2 guy on a team. Bowen Byram at $12.5 million better do everything for them. Insane signing, so overpaid. Yeah, I'm shocked on that one too. I think they gave him too much. Second, insane signing, so overpaid. Yep. Oh, sorry, I read that. User, did you ever fight Lucic? I did, brother. Go look it up. It was probably for sure, my best NHL fight. Dermot, he says, haha, nice. Newmarket Redmond jersey. Thanks, brother. You know what it is? Shersey says, the house that exploded in Rockford, I probably shouldn't say what happened until the report comes out. I got you, brother. That's kind of you. Let's just say I hope the mother lives with her 90% burns and enjoys prison. Oof. Oof. Yikes. That's painful. That's a whole different kind of pain. Wow. Cody says Byron better win us 300 cups. This guy's on the moon base. Gagerson, I'm a Bruins fan, so I remember you fighting with Lucic. Pasta is my guy. Pasta's a pretty cool dude, man. I do respect Pasternak's energy, that's for sure, and how hard he plays. Emmett Crow 2. Croats, what's going on, brother? Our resident top prospect beauty goalie from Dartmouth or something. What was his name again? What was it again? Emmett Croteau. Minnesota draft pick at Dartmouth. Or wow. Montreal draft pick at Dartmouth. Progressing very well. Guy is dialed in the mind. That's why he's making the progress. Do you think Winnipeg would want Revo? Hometown guy. I can't see it. Let's go look at their roster. They got Kyle Connor, Scheifele, Velarde, Perfetti, Bjork, Lambert, Niederreiter, Lowry, I follow, Kepke, Barron, Rosen. Maybe. Maybe. Wow, Josh Morrissey better be up for a contract. He's gonna get fucking paid. He's 33 already. He's gonna get fucking. He better get a big. He's gonna be a UFA next year. Hopefully, he gets a nice ticket to play till like 36 of some big money. I don't know. Revo might be done, man. What's up, Croats? Appreciate you coming on the kick, my man. Lowry is a tough dude. I think he's a little bit of a one-dimensional fighter, though. I think he's going to have to change his style a bit if he wants to win, but he's tough enough, to grab on and just chuck him. I remember, I think, you being in a mic'd-up fight as well with someone on New Jersey. It was sweet. I don't think I was mic'd up in a game for a fight, but I was mic'd up with Chris Weidman in the locker room messing around. Erica says, thank you for holding space for me while I needed to release what I saw on the way up to the college games. And Corey, if she's still here, that group was made in perfect timing. Data collection, girl. You're so welcome. I know that was a crazy experience for you. That's a traumatizing thing for anybody. And you're so kind and loving to go put that kitty in your hands as it passed. Dermot Anderson, you've probably been asked before, but whose UFC gloves? Did you watch the card last night? These are not anybody's UFC gloves. They were bought for me by the security guys at the San Jose rink, Randy and Ruben. They worked at like the front gate or the back gate when we drove in with our cars. Just amazing guys. So they were very kind to buy me those. And I did not watch the card last night. Nope. I'm a casual UFC follower. You think I was fighting someone mic'd up? The other guy you were on San Jose fighting New Jersey. I'm pretty sure it was you. Maybe the other guy was you. I don't remember being mic'd up for a fight, man. Do you think Trent Frederick is a good fighter? I do not. I do not. I think he tries hard. I think that's the most important thing, but I would not say he's a good fighter. No. No. Is Jay Drew still here? Because I'm so proud of that guy. He just popped in my consciousness again of meditating 6 minutes in the morning, 6 minutes in a night already. It's freaking awesome. Awesome. Erica says, was a black pickup that ran it over like my grandpa had too. The synchronicities. It sucks, Erica. It sucks, but it's also beautiful, but it sucks in the meat monkey spacesuit. Jaden, was Weidman a chill dude? He does the panel a bit for UFC broadcasts. He seems pretty cool. Was a great fighter as well before his leg snapped. He was so kind, Jaden. Such beauty. He said he walks around at 215 and cuts to 185. I was like, holy shit. So you're saying I would fight at 185? He's like, yeah, probably less. I'm like, geez. Crazy. Deloria in Carolina and Olivia in Columbus are my favorite fighters. Nice, dude. Great picks. I'd throw Tanner Janot in there. I think Tanner Janot might be my favorite. Cody Bass. Namaste, brother. Welcome in, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family down there in Nashville. Jay Drew is still here. Thank you. Got to keep bumping them men's up. Yes, sir, brother. Oh, man. Have you noticed any changes yet, Jay Drew? Because I'm telling you, meditation, like I cannot put into words how powerful it is. It is everything. It's the be-all, end-all. Thoughts on Rempe? Great kid. Seems like it. Seems like he works hard. Congrats for him to making the show, at least to this point. Wish he used his body better in fights. Where else do you stream on so I can follow? On Kick here, brother. Can you see that? That's where, sorry, I can't see the screen. That's where that's Instagram, but this is Kick. See how the screen's bigger? Much better to come on Kick. It's free. You can join. It takes like 2 minutes. Make an account. Just find me on there at Curtis Gabriel. Super easy, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the follow. Where do you rate Nick and Marcus Foligno as fighters, and who do you think's the better technical fighter? 100,000% Nick Foligno's the better fighter. Marcus is just bigger and stronger, but he puts his head down. He throws wildly. Nick Foligno is the big brother. He's the nail gun. There's no doubt about it. I'd way rather fight Marcus Foligno than Nick Foligno. Way rather. Gabe Velarde, 7.5 sheets, eh? You're 2 of 6. Good for him. Gabe Velarde. How many points do you get to be making that? 69 points last year. 30 rips, 39 assists. Wow. He's going to be on a bargain for a while. Good for him. Scheif had 103 points last year. Wow. Cassidy, do you think it's worth to go see the Caps play at Hershey? Because they play at Hershey, but it's a Monday, so I don't know if I want to go. I have no idea, Cassidy. That's a you decision, girl. That's a you decision. Sounds like it's preseason game. Sherzy, Marcus only wins fights that fight if it's a marathon. That's more his style for sure. Soupy the Q manager. Soupy the Q manager. Are you a manager in the Q? Favorite? You must be if you're you're talking about favorite equipment manager. Where do you which team in the Q are you a equipment manager for? He says, what was your favorite equipment manager in your career? I got to go Nate Beliveau. He was my assistant in Iowa and assistant in Jersey, and he became a really good friend. So going to have to go with Nate the Great. Probably him number 1, and then Nolan Bowker probably number 2, and then Tuna. Nolan Bowker was the assistant in Lehigh, and then Tuna was the head guy in Iowa. Now he works in Philly. Jaden, what Leafs addition do you like the most? Do you think anyone will have a big breakout year? New addition or a returning player? The only addition I kind of like the most is Colton Sissons. Colton Sissons and Brandon Duhaime, but I really don't think it's going to go well, to be honest. And if I think there's going to be a player with a breakout, I think Colton Sissons could maybe break out. I think he's a hell of a hockey player. I think he's been asked to play lesser roles. He didn't have a lot of points last year. Maybe he could break out. He only had 11 points, but maybe he could. He had 8 points in the playoffs, though. It's a big step up. Did you play with Mike Condon? I did not. I think you asked me that before, Croats, but I'm not sure. But maybe somebody else did. I did not play with him. I know you work with him, though, brother. You said that when you're on a stream. Cassidy Gabes, you feeling all right today? You look a little sick. Maybe you're just tired, though. Yeah, I did do a lot of the shrooms. And I've been enjoying life. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. Going through some undulations. For sure. For sure. But kind of by choice in a way. So we'll get back to it, Cassidy. We'll get back to it. Meat Monkey Spacesuit is definitely a little taxed. Dermot Anderson, the equipment managers. Hey. Oh, you're the WHL equipment manager in Seattle. Nice, Shari. We got the Seattle Thunderbirds equipment manager out here. We have a fan on the stream a fan of the Thunderbirds who lives close by and goes to lots of the games. She's a valued member of our community here, dude. Bells, Baux, and Tuna, all great dudes. Look at that. You know fucking everybody, eh? Small world, the equipment trainer world. Equipment managers are tight. Amen. But Cassidy, you got a good read on me. I am tired. You're right. You're right. Is there a deeper story to the Wolves on the Wall? There sure is, brother. There sure is. You better believe it. You better believe it. I read about it in my book. Pretty crazy dream experience. Pretty crazy dream experience. So, yes, sir. Not going to get into it more than that. Where does La Rock rank? I don't know, my man. I really don't know. What do you think of the most entertaining final of the last 20 years? I'm biased in like 2011. Honestly, man, I don't remember that many finals. You are more of a hockey fan than me. How is your Nietzsche NHL tough guy knowledge? Do you mean niche NHL tough guy knowledge? Vladimir Kovananov? Look at TikTok chats more. Brother, don't tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. It's my stream. I do what I want. It's my house and I do what I want to. Did you ever get to play in the playoffs? And if so, how was the atmosphere? I played 4 games of the Stanley Cup playoffs in my second year pro. And that was a hell of an experience. Was it second year pro? Yeah, second year pro. That was crazy. I didn't think I'd be playing in the playoffs in my second year after my second year pro. That's for sure. But yeah, to the Vladimir person telling me to look at TikTok more, I focus on Kick. I don't focus on TikTok. I do not have a book right now, brother. It's coming out in the new year, probably. Not out yet. Yeah, Sharzy. Cassie, what do you mean? If you need anything, I'm only a text away, normally not doing anything normally. LOL. What do you mean, Cassidy? What would I need from you? I'm just a little tired. What am I gonna do? Text you and you're gonna give me an energy boost to the phone? What are you talking about, girl? What are you talking about? You making no sense. Yeah, Cody. Fucking A, says Emmett Croto. I'm pre-ordering that for sure. Thank you, brother. Maybe you want to be one of the first 100 to get a signed book by maybe a guy you might know in the National Hockey League. I'll wait to release that a little bit too. What has been the most challenging part of the book process? Probably honestly, like the writing was definitely difficult, but it kind of just did itself. Like how the book came about, of what it went to. It started as something totally different than when it ended. I don't think any book, when you start writing it, starts with the way you intend and ends with the way you intend, but it got to exactly where it needed to be. But honestly, Linz, the hardest part is like getting it published and all the like typos and all the editing and all that stuff. That's the hardest part. Whoa, Erica has a little highest excitement share. My deck at the cottage is done, and in my write-up, I looked about hosting my own things up here eventually in time, but I did a yoga on the deck, and it was beautiful, and I felt myself in the zone. My ex popped over for a visit, and I was talking about my dock plans in the future and some working things like I do, making a little station for me to work where my grandpa would weld. Wow, your ex popped over for a visit. That's interesting. It's nice you guys are friends. So you're basically saying, Erica, that you think the deck at the cottage is somewhere you could hold little retreats or something. I hear you, girl. You could feel that flow coming in as you were in the zone. You felt yourself not in the zone. Correction, Erica. You felt yourself as the zone. We're trying to live from the zone, as the zone, not get into the zone. We're falling back to what we already are. Not, I guess you could say we're falling back into it. That's a way of saying it. But I just want to be a key that we're falling back into what we already are. We're not going out to something we're not. But that is exciting that you feel that coming through for something you're going to do in the future. Emmett says, when you played, did you ever dive into alter ego work? I can't remember if we talked about that. Not consciously, brother. I don't think I consciously dove into alter ego stuff. I just kind of had to go fight people, you know? Like I just got really amped up into my high sensitivity, hypomanic state. So I guess in a way it was kind of an alter ego, but I didn't personally look at it that way. It's just kind of natural to get jacked up to fight people. Yeah, well, don't be holding your breath anytime soon, Sharzy. Don't be holding your breath anytime soon for the book. Kind of just forget about it, and when it's time, it's time. Oh no, yeah, definitely not going through anything bad, Cassidy. Cassidy, I honestly haven't had a bad day since November 4th, 2024. I don't think they exist anymore. Just data collection. Yes, and then my future doc area. Erica says, I am the zone. Yes, you are, girl. Let's go. My ex's family has a cottage up here. I met him by crashing an ATV, both of us on it when we were like 10. Wow. That sounds scary. Those ATVs could be dangerous. Whoa, thanks for joining the kick stream here, Jaggerson, if that's your name. Jaggerson. He says, or they say, are you a female? No, you said you were a dude. You said you were a dude. Do you think the NHL is getting softer in a sense? It seems more skilled, but I remember the past, it was tougher. I think most people would agree with that. It's gotten softer. It's still really, really fast, which also makes it really, really tough. But I just think you have to be able to play now, you know? Almost kind of rode the lightning ball. Is that what you're talking about, me getting fired up for games? Then reached out to him. Erica then reached out to her ex years ago and said, let's go to a concert or something. We went on it. When we went out, I'm usually the one that makes the le move. Did you mean to say le move? You're the one that makes le move. That's good. You know what you want. You go for it. Appreciate you joining and hanging out. I keep saying like, your name's just kind of a weird one. Gaggerson. Like, what's your first name? Maybe we could get to know you on a first name basis or something. Maybe that's your handle name or just something. Did you ever get to fight with Jumbo? Did you ever get tight with Jumbo Joe? No, I did not. He left the year before I came. Are you the guy from Heated Rivalry? I am not. I am not. Thoughts on the USHL? I have like zero thoughts on the USHL. I don't know anything about the USHL. It seems like a lesser OHL that prepares guys for college. It seems good, but I just don't know much about it. Okay, there we go. Gage is my first name. LOL. That makes a lot more sense than Gagerson. Gotcha. I thought that was some kind of like Danish or Swedish name. Gage. Gotcha. I played on the KIJHL and now I'm studying for sports management. Nice, man. So where are you from? What's KIJHL? Where's that from? Chastity says, yes, that's true. No such thing as a bad day. It's all in the head. Amen, girl. I can get on board with that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gage is from Alberta, but I played for the KIJHL in junior. It's Kootenay's region in BC. Okay, Kootenay. Gotcha, brother. Tage, literally zero disrespect. Has anyone said you look like Charlie Kirk? Never once has anybody said that. No. You say no jokes either. Serious question. I appreciate you, brother. I'm not judging you, but nobody has ever once said that. So you have an interesting look at things. I don't know if because my hood up or something, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I look like him at all personally, but Lammy, what's up? Hope all is well. Appreciate you, brother. We are one. How are you doing? Where are you from, Lammy? Think the devs could go deep this year. I think Sonny Meta is going to revamp that team and get it back going, but I wouldn't say this year, no. But seriously, can we get you on a diversity board for the NHL and bring back Pride Nights? Like, how did that affect anyone except bring positivity? I agree, brother, but I'm going to let you into something, okay? The NHL people who run the NHL, they want Pride Nights. The people who don't want the Pride Nights are the very small minority of the biggest owners, and they control the league. So I had to learn this too, that it's not the people of the NHL, it's the people who own the NHL. And the people who own the NHL in this charge, nothing's going to change. So that's the truth there, brother. Do you still lace them up anywhere like beer league? I do not, Corey M. That is not my jam. Not my jam. Tage, didn't want that to come off weird. LOL. Didn't want that to come off weird. It's definitely because if the hood up, hood down, it's not close. Well, there you go, brother. I am not Charlie Kirk, but it doesn't have to be weird. It's just you're just seeing something that other people maybe don't see. That's a new one, says Jade. Never heard that. Don't see any resemblance with you and Charlie Kirk. However, on that topic, I was playing NHL not too long ago and was using Seattle, and I thought Joey Decord and Charlie Kirk looked very similar. Well, a video game, right? So maybe his video game rendition looks like him. Zerk the Kid said, appreciated your time on the squad. I appreciate you. You a big Devils fan or what? Zerk the Kid. Definitely see Joey Decord resemblance, not Gabe's though. Joey Decord. Yeah, I could see that with Joey Decord. That makes sense a little bit. Like Charlie Kirk, I guess, yeah. He didn't have a great save percentage last year, huh? He kind of had a down year. Poor guy. Making $5 million till he's making $5 million to 29.30. Holy cow! He's gonna need to bounce back. Steadily going down a bit here. Gage says, typical the elites running everything. Disappointing. I felt so represented with me being by with you representing the league and having Pride Nights. Well, brother, keep strong, all right? Keep strong, because a lot of people in the league are way more on board with it than it seems. Let me tell you that. Zerk says, do you agree with your time in the Devils was some of the best of your career? No doubt about it. Probably never played better hockey. So much fun. Wish I would have just, wasn't meant to be, but I wasn't as strong on the puck in the corners, and there were some things I could have done that made it better, whatever, but I did the best I could with what I had at the time. You fully hung them up, brother. Yeah, like 4 years ago, my man. 4 years ago, I hung them up. Are you very spiritual or religious now? I am, brother. Very spiritual. We need you in Montreal to protect Hudson. No, you don't. You really don't need me. With the flow out there, it's not even close to Charlie. LOL. Fair enough. Have you done any interviews on hockey podcasts I could listen to so I could learn more about you? BB Smalls. Namaste, brother. We are one. I appreciate the interest. Yeah, I've been on quite a few actually. Some of the favorites I've been on Vinny Maltz, the Evolving Athlete podcast. Again, Vinny Maltz, he's the mental health coach at the Edmonton Oilers. He's got a podcast called Evolving Athlete, the Evolving Mindset or Evolving Athlete. You could scroll down my page on Instagram and you'll see podcasts I've been on from clips. I've been on that one. I've been on the Jungle Hockey Pod. I've been on Jungle Hockey Pod. I've been on a couple small ones, like they just talk kind of shoot the shit about hockey, a couple comedy type ones. So again, you scroll down my Instagram page and you see clips of me on other pods. Go to like the links and go to their pages. I appreciate you want to learn more. Always remember, also, when was the last time you played in the show? I remember watching you, just don't recall last time. Last time was with Chicago Blackhawks in 2021. You seem spiritual. I respect it. I sure am, my brother. I sure am. Chunk Dick Golf's hanging out. Who's the coach who impacted your career off the ice the most? Honestly, not many. I didn't have any close bonds with head coaches off the ice. You could say a guy in minor hockey, probably. Joe Paccioni, or maybe Gord Fournier, the coach that told me that I was never going to be a guy who could score and hit it or score and skate at the highest levels. I'm going to have to hit people and then I have to fight people. So that kind of was on the ice stuff. But I really, with my dad issues and my dad passing, I really didn't trust, I don't think, taking on like a male role model because I was hurt by one and nobody really stepped up to be that for me. I was pretty hard-headed. Gerson, I found that video of you. It was not you mic'd up, but you beefing with a guy in warm-ups. It was on the NHL YouTube. Yes, so I was not mic'd up for that either. It was just, beefing in with Zach Bogosian. I got under his skin, pissed him off a lot. And no, I will not tell you what I said. I will not tell you what I said. Do you watch the UFC? I'm a casual fan of the UFC, not a serious fan. You know any hockey players from Newfoundland? I don't know them, but personally, but I know Teddy Purcell, Terry Ryan. I guess I know Terry Ryan from Newfoundland. I know him. Teddy Purcell, Terry Ryan, Alex Newhook, Dan Cleary, but only one personally. Heading to bed, brother. Keep up the positive energy, dude. Appreciate you, Taj. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thoughts on Austin Matthews? Great guy, super talented, probably number 2 on the team, not number 1. So I have a shot of tequila sitting beside me. Anyways, did you ever play with Jack Hughes? Why do you have a shot of tequila sitting beside you, Tommy O? I'm confused, brother. And is this another drinking game question? Because people ask me the same questions over and again. I got you, Tommy. I had to put that one together in my brain. Who was your favorite team growing up? Toronto Maple Leafs, brother. I heard you asked him to smooch at center ice. Who did I ask to smooch at center ice? Shirsi? Who are we talking about? You gotta answer quicker. I don't remember when we move on from topics. That was one of the questions, Tommy. Gotcha. Bogo. Gotcha, brother. No. Definitely did not want to kiss that big hairy beard. Oh, we got the cousin of Dawson Mercer in the house. Wow. I didn't know Dawson Mercer was a Newfie. Heck of a hockey player. Sick number on the kid, 21. There he is, Carbonaire, Newfoundland. Oh, he did. Yeah, he went the Q. First round pick, 18th overall in 2020. Wow, he lit it up that year. He is a 19-year-old, 27 rips. Dawson Mercer, good hockey player. I would have loved to see you fight Big Z. I tried, Gage. I really tried. He didn't want it. I tried to fight him multiple games, and the only time I played the Boston Bruins at the Rock in New Jersey. Tried my best. Tommy O says, still believe Mercer becomes point per game soon. I think he does too if he gets more ice time, Tommy O. Jaden, if you could choose a team in the queue to play for, where would you want to go? That's an interesting question, Jaden. I don't know enough about the league, but maybe the Quebec Remparts. Don't they have a big they have a big setup there? That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I feel like they have a big setup. Moncton has a big setup. They're a well-off team. It'd be nice to, like, I don't, believe me, I don't hate my time at Owen Sound, but it'd be nice to experience, a kind of a typical big junior town to play junior in. That would have been a lot of fun. Can you rate my elite prospects, or did you not do those? I mean, I've never rated an elite prospects. I don't know how to do that. If you give me some direction, I will. Never done that before, though. Best upcoming future for the Habs. No idea, brother. No idea. I just know that the Habs are the closest to win the Stanley Cup of any Canadian team. Samantha, we are one. What's a piece of advice you'd give to someone who's still trying to navigate anxiety? Samantha, the answer to all of these questions, you asked me about depression, anxiety, suffering, grief, pain, whatever, it's always going to be meditation. There's no other advice I would give. You have to do the work to see that your thoughts are not you. Your thoughts are always going to be there. They never will shut off until you understand that you actually don't have a mind. And the only way to do that is to meditate and watch your thoughts come up when you don't choose them and realize that you are, again, not your thoughts. So that's it. You can start as easy with meditating on your bed tomorrow morning. 1 minute, start with 1 minute. Get up 5 minutes before your alarm, wash your face, brush your teeth, whatever. Maybe just wash your face with cold water, go to the bathroom, sit down, set your phone for a minute, do a couple of deep breaths, and then just watch your breath. In, out, 1. In, out, 2. You don't have to try to breathe. You just watch your breath. You count to 10, start back at 0. It's the simplest way to start. It sounds super easy, very hard to do consistently. That's the best thing you could do for anxiety. Gage Senio. Okay, so how do people rate people's prospects, Gage? Do they give it an A, B, C, D, or what is it? Red Deer Rebels, 22 years old, 2004, 6 foot, 196. Right shot D-man. We got a guy who looks like he was a half point a game guy in AAA. Very nice. Or AA, sorry. Ponoco Stampeders high school, maybe 4 games. Then you went and played for the Florida Eels in the USPHL. What a fucking name. The Florida Eels. Wow, that's just kind of a creepy name. It doesn't really have a ring to it either. Then the Dells Ducks. Then the Long Beach Shredders. Back to the Dells, or also the Dells Ducks again in the second there. And then you played 23-24 for the Castle Gear Rebels in the KIJHL. Hey, man, you got to play junior hockey. Freaking awesome. I love it. Good for you. Very happy for you, dude. I respect it. I respect it. Whenever I'm on Elite Prospects, it's always interesting seeing the different names pop up on the side. Oh, Nick Abe Kubel went to Dynamo Minsk. Good for him. Went over to Russia, went across the pond. Who else out there? Stevenson, people. Jake Vertanen, where's he on the move to? Slovakia. He had 55 points last year in 53 games in Slovakia, buzzing, ripping goals. He had 11 games in the playoffs, 20 points. Whew. Ripping it up. Good for him. Brother, I don't really know what you'd be. I have no idea what that rating would be. I'm just loving that you play junior hockey, my man. That's badass to me. I have a future Airbnb for mushy time, Sharzy. Get your ass up here. A future Airbnb for mushy time. Wow. That's where we're going to hold retreats at Erica's cottage. Hey, it makes it a lot easier, Erica, when we know the owner and we can control the environment. Maybe that's a place to do it. Get Shari Soulflow and Corey Cooper in here, drive them up to Muskoka. I pick them up, drive them up there, and we dive deep with the mushies. Sounds like an interesting experience. I'm kind of about it. I'm kind of interested. Erica, that's kind of getting me excited. Maybe you need to send me some pictures of your cottage so we can see what we're working with, what kind of space. I'm interested. Tommy says the rating for me is 98% of people who play hockey wish they had elite prospects like that. Be proud, brother. Amen, Gage. Amen. Look at the love you're getting. Have a good night, says Jaden. Have a good night. Night peeps. Namaste. Have a great night, everyone, says Sherzy. Schlaf gut, Linz, we are one. Did you play against Yakupov? If so, did you think he was a big bust? Everyone says he is. I don't know how you can't say he's a bust, my man. He went first overall in the NHL. How can you not say he's a bust? He was so good in the OHL. I played against him in the OHL. He was buzzing around that year, just highlight reel goal after highlight reel goal. No, not mine. Up the way from mine, but mine's nearby. Hello, it has a pickleball court. Okay. I don't mind camping, says Shar, if we get a good setup. Hey, we'll see. We are one, Corey Cooper. We are one. Yes, we are, fellow soul. Yes, we are. Who knows what the future has in store for our community, our collective, right? The love and light knows its power. It shall unfold the way it needs to be. Amen, amen. All right, we're going to shut her down. Shutting down TikTok. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great night. Shutting it down here. And we're gonna dial it in. We're gonna dial it in. Nighty night, lovelies. All right, taking it out with a tune. Flaws in our design. I love you all. Mwah.
Thinking my life away. This glitching daisy chain state of mind. Ooh, could never find or mend these severed lines. Can't barely hold these wretched stitches together. Oh, my soul begins to tire from finding flaws